Okay.
Gotta get rid of that. There we go.
Okay.
All right, I am ready for your questions.
So, this is episode 2 of the podcast. We are joined here today with Tualkaer, essentially a fellow Stream Raiders captain, also a fellow streamer, has come back from a hiatus of streaming. So, Tool, firstly, welcome. Thank you very much for agreeing to be interviewed today.
It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited. This is a new experience for me. I haven't been interviewed for anything in a long time.
Okay, so firstly, we'll start off with how long have you been streaming for?
This is actually my third attempt at streaming, and it's been my most successful and most consistent. I have been streaming for about a month now, or will be coming on a month soon. A year ago, I did about a month's worth of streaming, but it was much less frequent, and it was only with League of Legends. A year before that, so 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I did some streaming with a friend that I met in League of Legends who wanted to be a shot caller, and I wanted to be a color caster. So we took the opportunity to watch non-professional games or some professional games without the sound and without the paid caller caster and shot caller, and we did our own performance of it for our own practice and entertainment. And those clips, those videos should still be on my channel, I believe. And hey,
For your Twitch
still
or
aspire for
YouTube?
I'm not sure where they are.
Because
I'd have to
if
double-check.
the highlights, then yes, you'll keep them. But if they were essentially live streams, you will lose them after 14 days.
I believe they're uploads that I put not as live streams that we recorded.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
I'd have to go find them.
So, would you say, like, you usually do a month and then something happens and you, like, quit?
2.5 years ago, it was mental health issues that made it difficult, and I just lost momentum and couldn't get it back up. A year ago, I got a new computer set up that could stream properly, and I could actually run Discord, run a game, and run others and the OBS at the same time. And I got really excited to get back into it again. But the fatigue of COVID and having my kids at home and doing distance learning made it difficult, especially because I didn't really have any friends in my streaming group. The only people who were supporting me were friends and families from real life, but they couldn't do much more than lurk. And I appreciate lurks. Lurks are incredible from anybody, but talking alone is always harder. Now this time, I found the game Stream Raiders, and I found the incredible community that is around, and everybody always wanting to help each other, and it has given me a lot more momentum. That is my child. I will ask my wife to help them, but please give me a second. Entertain them.
Yeah, okay. So, as you can understand and agree, that we all have, like, different parts of our lives as well as streaming. This is not just, like, something that we do and, like, as soon as you turn off our streams, we cease to function. We go back to our robot box. So... We'll wait for Tool to put back on his headset. You're back here now?
The fiasco is not been solved. My wife and child are trying to solve it. She was eating cookies and milk and got shocked by the show she was watching and spilt the milk everywhere and all over herself and wants a bath now. And he's like, no, we've got to clean up first and then you get the bath. And this is trying to be a streamer with kids.
And you have two, correct?
Yes, my daughter and son, Angela and Michael, 9 and 7 years old. Thank you for your cup. Michael, Daddy is trying to stream with friends. He needs to be left alone now. Can you please go back to the room and help Mom clean up?
I think it'll be like essentially one of the most interesting episodes of the podcast so far, even though there's me too.
Me jumping up and down and trying to solve the world's problems.
Well, I think your problems are quite localized at the moment, right? So
you say I can't solve the world's problem? How rude.
What problem at a time? The easiest ones first.
I can go with that. One problem at a time.
So so can you go and elaborate? Like, you said mental health issues. Obviously, I've known Tool for a long time, but we need to elaborate these things. If Tool wants to go into that, we will.
All right. So, in short, I am, after being advised by my therapist, who I've been seeing for multiple years, I applied for disability in the United States because of a combination of 4 major factors. I pursued that, was denied, but that happens to everybody, and pursued the appeal, and eventually went to some lawyers with my case. They were extremely helpful, and the judge found that my 4 issues, being bipolar depression, social anxiety, autism, and my extremely bad and youthful back surgery, the 4 of those issues combining on each other basically eliminates me from all competitiveness for trying to hold down a job. My bipolar depression, it is a history of it in my family. I have an uncle who lost his life in the fight against bipolar depression when I was in high school. For me, it didn't really affect me because I was always on my highs, and my highs are very mild. I was in my youth, but once I had children and had more responsibilities and was trying to do a job, do college, and change diapers all at the same time, I spiraled, and the social anxiety and the autism, some people looking at me wouldn't feel that I'm autistic. That's because of a lack of good definitions and proper understanding of what is going on. I prefer the term neurodivergent, which is more all-encompassing of people with ADHD and other mental, divergencies from the mainstream way the world works. But I had seen my therapist for 2 years, and one day he's like, Danny, I want to ask you a series of questions, testing for something. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. And he did it, and well, my parents didn't know, I didn't know, but looking back on it, we can see me struggling through school or through social interactions so many times, and that was more than just a kid who didn't know how to fit in. That was my autism coming through, but just wasn't picked up on.
Can I just quickly interrupt you for a second?
Yes.
So
sorry you got me rattling.
no, just a quick one. So would you feel like a lot of times you mask well?
Yes, I do feel that I mask well, except for my first impressions. I am too open and too, I guess, weird. I've had multiple jobs say, Danny, we love you. You're the hardest worker. You're so great. This was before my back surgery and the depression got real bad. But your first impression is hard to deal with. So we need you to read this book before we give you this position you're applying for. You can keep working in the back for forever and ever, but you got to read this book, and we're gonna train you more before we let you be a front face person.
Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh, but I think we've all been there where our first impressions have failed on something. Most people have been there, but I could understand and appreciate the struggle. It must be really hard sometimes.
It was frustrating to have work friends and superiors who liked me, and I was their go-to man in so many things. But when they had to advocate for me with their bosses or their managers, they couldn't get anywhere because that person had only ever had a first impression of me and didn't like me. And I'm like, you're getting testimonies from these guys every work report, but apparently you don't listen to your own employees and just live off your own first impression.
Yeah.
And I wish that the culture in most jobs would improve and be more understanding. I am 2 lab classes away from my chemistry major, 1 math class away from a math minor, and 1 class and 1 student teaching summer away from a teaching degree. I had 3 different things I was so close to finishing, and I too had to drop out because of mental health issues. And, well, I didn't know at that time about my autism and social anxiety. I started failing my teachers, failing my lab instructors, failing my classmates that I was doing projects on, and the pressure and self-burden I put on myself because of my mind made it so I couldn't function anymore and complete my college. I am sorry that that also happened to you, and I hope that you are finding success and fulfillment in other ways, and if you aren't now, that you will get on a path that does bring those to you. Streaming right now, this is the closest I've been to the path in a long time, and that's why I'm so happy to have people like Casper and other Stream Raider captains support me and want me to succeed, and always be excited for Tool being there. Tool's here, everybody! Tool's here! Great.
But what do you think? Like, now that you've kind of done like streaming 3 times, yeah? Like, how do you think like you've put in a measure in place that this time's going to be different? This time you're going to stick?
Well, something that's helpful that didn't exist before or didn't exist as much is special events. Because trying to do something every day, I have bad days and I can't make every day happen. But I would love the routine. Routine is very important. But just the routine of, I'll do it every Saturday wasn't strong enough. It was too weak.
Yeah.
With Stream Raiders, they have the PvP events. I will stream every PvP event because that's important to me and the most fun part of the game. League of Legends, 2.5 years ago, didn't really have Clash. A year ago they did. Now they have it more regular. It's every 2 weeks. Clash is a 5-man pre-made online tournament for in-game loot. I have friends who want to win, friends who depend on me. If they're wanting me to do Clash with them. And Clash is something big and exciting to do as a streamed event. I have that extra motivation to bring me into it. So right now, instead of focusing on trying to stream all the time, I try to take advantage of any time I think I can do it, and then commit hardcore to the special events that happen often enough.
Yeah. So I definitely do agree with Tool. Like, take your own time to figure out a schedule that works for you, and make sure, like, we all have our own stamina bars, as I like to put it. And once your stamina is done, stop streaming. Just say to guys, like, I'm tired, I'll finish now. Because, like, nothing's worse than when you keep on going. Your brain just hits that wall. And it's good to kind of figure out where your stamina bar is, and just, like, don't not schedule, like, a schedule, but just try to figure out where that sweet spot is.
Agree. It always sucks to end your stream weak. Nobody wants to see you end weak. So try to end when you have strength. Now, I can understand sometimes you're in the middle of something and it's important. With the Dungeons event and Stream Raiders, you don't want to end without having lost the dungeon. You keep going. But some captains have chosen to stop halfway through a dungeon. That makes sense. That really is like fingernails on chalkboards to me, as how the world works for me and how I see it. But other people do it. Other people are different. And maybe I will one day have to stop a dungeon halfway through. But I'm glad to have something that gives me energy and gives the chat energy, interacting and talking to us and asking questions and getting our brain to fire more neurons and connect more things and getting more stimulants.
I think it's really hard. Like, can I say something? Like, it's really hard, and I would hate to do it again, is just being, like, before affiliate. Like, where you're just streaming and you're like, I hope and pray that someone's going to click on that and come in. And sometimes even worse, like, guys, if you start streaming, please at least get your mobile phone up with the chat or something like that while you're playing. Please take notice of chat. It's important. They're people. They're lovely, lovely people.
My OBS has add-ons, so I can see my chat through my OBS add-on. And
yeah, but the whole idea
right
is that sometimes people will only have one monitor. So you won't be able to play the game and look at OBS at the same time.
I'm using one monitor, and my small house, limited desk space. I have a second monitor, just don't have the desk space for it. But how I make it work is I set things to Windows mode.
And also, like, technically with Stream Raiders, like, you're able to do that, right?
I can set most games to Windows mode now, actually, that I do. League of Legends, Stream Raiders, Bloons TD6. I know I can do it with things like Grim Dawn, and what are some of the other games I have? Arc. You can do it on Arc. You just have to go into the settings and fiddle with stuff. Sometimes you just have to right-click the icon and fiddle with the things as administrator to always open this application in Windows mode there too. There's multiple strategies. I can't say enough about Stream Raiders for the opportunities it has given me to, like, have motivation and have a pattern. And I'm really excited for the road to affiliate with Stream Raiders. I am about halfway there. I'm averaging about 10 viewers every time, and you need to have 20 viewers on average over a month period.
I thought it's still 30.
Is it 30? Well, then I guess if I wanted to, I could go look right here. I can't find the button right now. I'll do it later. Let's get back to the interview.
So, if you were going back in time, and you were thinking all the things that you would want to tell the non-affiliate Tool, what would you say? Would there be shortcuts or something that you could help someone else that's a small streamer?
So, one of the things would be connections. I was at 33 followers just a month ago, but because of Stream Raiders and me going in and being the person I wanted to be a hero to streamers who were trying to stream. So I did that twice and failed. I wanted to go find those small streamers, place in their battles, say I was there, and say, last call for Stream Raiders and stuff like that. And I did that for a while, had fun, and was encouraged and motivated to become my own captain. And the second I said I was doing that, all the captains I'd ever placed with, all the people I've ever chat with, oh yeah, I'll shout you out. I'll make sure you get to 100 followers. And it happened in just a week. Basically, find a community in your game that you enjoy playing, that you would think of streaming. Build a presence in that community, and then tell that community you are trying to stream. And the people who enjoy you in that community will help you. I do something called Amped Guard, or I did in the past, haven't done it in a while because of health and COVID and family and life. But it's a fantasy reenactment role-playing game. You go out to the park and hit each other with farm swords and cast spells. It's all great. And that's where my barbarian picture comes from. That's my icon in Discord and in Stream Raiders. People in that community know each other, see each other, do stuff all the time. Whenever one of them tries to start being a streamer, they share it with the community and they get people, friends, or not even friends, just names, showing up in their Discord or in their Twitch. Hey, I saw this on the AppGuard page. Here I am. I'll work for you. Oh, you're playing that game? I like that game too. I always was the Necromancer. Oh, don't do that. No, it's a terrible choice. And, I mean, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's only for a little while. But that support helps.
Yeah.
And the more people you have in your stream at any time, the more likely somebody else is to show up, because your people are going to click something that has 10 over something that has 1 more likely.
Exactly.
And once you get a dedicated audience, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think
it's a lark.
Yeah. I think in general, people forget that networking is not about hi, follow me, I'll follow you back. Dude, you play WoW too? I play WoW. It's watch me. No, that's not gonna help. Because they're not invested in you. A lot of times you have to make friends. Even not just friends, but people that like you. You're not going to get anybody that likes you going follow for follow. You're going to just get 10,000 people that want to leave you, just go, this dude's not going to leave me alone. I'm just going to follow him because then he'll leave me alone.
Followers isn't that big of an issue, except when there is these benchmarks you have to meet, like in Stream Raiders, where they require you to have 100 followers before you can become a captain.
Yeah, but you've got to also think, okay, you've got to have at least 20 people placed. Like, that at least means that people have to come and join you at some point. Like, there's no benchmarks that I can see. And usually this is kind of sometimes the turn off for me, is if I go to someone's chat and they only have 8 people watching, but they've got 10k followers. That kind of tells me that something's either, like, they spent the last 5 years working on a deserted island as a monk, or it's like they've given away all their belongings and they've come back to streaming after 5 or 10 years. Or they've done the follow for follow. And that kind of means that you don't get to build a community. You don't get to find all these lovely people that really love you. And also you love them. Like, it's not a one-way process where people go, oh yeah, Tool, you're the best person ever, I'll worship you. No, it's at the end of the day, you actually have to genuinely care for people. And I think as a streamer, you always have to have this bit where you're trying to make people's lives better in some way. That doesn't mean like, oh yeah, like I can help you out like this way or that way. It's the whole idea that at the end of the day, like, I'm blown away, like, how many people come to watch a stream, and the average on Twitch is 120 minutes. Like, you guys could watch a full feature-length movie, but you're watching Twitch. You're watching all of us. You're supporting all of us. We're very grateful to have you here. Keep being awesome.
It is really incredible that people, real people doing real things, calls to our souls more than movies, more than Netflix, more than the latest YouTube fad. Being able to interact with that real person as well, and it makes our day, these interactions. And so we do appreciate them and want more of them. And anybody who's trying to become a streamer, search for those. Cherish those. They'll happen and they really matter. Do it. Enjoy life. Yeah. And anybody who's a jerk, well, Anna, block them. We have that power.
Yeah.
Don't let jerks ruin your life.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of people who will stand up for you.
For sure. Like, we as streamers, and you'll probably agree with this, Tool, we're responsible for our communities. We're responsible for whatever goes on in our communities. And I think that's really hard to kind of realize, that you've got to kind of enforce those rules.
Yeah. It is important to make the community a safe place for what you want it to be a safe place for. Some people have different opinions. Some people don't want to hear about anime, and anime is the devil to them. Well, then don't go to anime Discord. Don't go to anime fan stream. But the people who do enjoy that, they're there. They're safe. They all enjoy a good joke together. They do their I can't remember the name of the cat face, how you say it with words. But yeah, and all those type of things.
I just think you with cat ears, Tool. That would be funny.
I think it would be very handsome.
Yep. King of the cats.
Oh, you don't be king of the cats. You gotta be I'm trying to remember the name. Mistopheles and oh my than ever. Can't sing those songs anymore. It's been too long since I was in the same room as they were playing when my sister and stuff, and now my wife's singing it.
Oh. Yeah.
So we do need to be the judge and jury in our communities to remove people who are not making other people feel safe. We don't tolerate the intolerable. And so if somebody's there to troll, to pick fights, to be a jerk, ban them, kick them, and help your people who love you and support you and there every day feel safe, and they'll appreciate you for it.
The whole idea of Stream Raiders is it's kind of more, unless you're playing PvP, it's more of a passive game. Is there anything that you want to add later on with Stream Raiders, with your streaming? Do you want to include another one, or do you want to go completely Stream Raiders only?
So the dungeon aspect and the PvP aspect, when I'm doing those, I want to be full force, very interactive with chat, calling for very specific placements in areas to win this great game of chess you're playing. And it's so much fun. It is so tantalizing to my brain. And like I was saying, I did a bunch of chemistry and math in college. I liked the possibilities that can be seen there. Now, the passive PvE, player versus environment gaming, is important to level up your characters, level up your units, but it's also important for the streamer to have this break, this mental chance to stop, talk to the chat, see what they're doing, congratulate the player who carried the most, congratulate the player who dropped the most, shout out new names, say hi, invite them to your stream. And at this point in time, what I would like is to play games like League of Legends or Battle Brothers and have 30-minute casual PvE Stream Raiders in the background. Between League games, I'll start my battles and talk to my chat about it, and then I'll talk to them about League of Legends or whatever the other game is. Then, on the special days, like I said, for PvP, because they can only happen so many days a week, that's when it's just Stream Raiders and fully focused on it. Mostly, I want people to be entertained and people to ask me about the minute details of strategy in the game. Because I love talking about the game and figuring out the way to beat the game in the most efficient way possible, but not always in the most efficient way possible. Sometimes in the most efficient way possible, putting unfair limitations on myself. Okay, I'm going to start out as a mage. I'm going to start out as a race that's the best at being a mage, but then I'm going to go full ninja skill sets from after that, trying to make myself the best person at knocking people out with a staff with a knob on the end, and so on and so forth. And that's fun to me. And other people enjoy doing those self-made challenges as well. And then we talk and say, oh, hey, I did this. This is how I did it. Ooh. Oh, were you able to get past that one boss with that? I always found that boss super hard when you had to rely on non-shielding spells or so on and so forth.
So, like, one thing I want to ask you is, like, let's say you get to a certain stage. Let's say, like, this is, like, your goals as a streamer. what are your goals going to be? Like let's say this is going to be easy. Let's say another 3 months from now. What are your goals?
My most immediate goals right now is to get my emojis and my badges developed. The first ones that I'm allowed as a streamer affiliate. I did the paperwork to make it able for me to receive biddies and donations and subscriptions, but people doing that aren't getting any reward for it yet. So I feel bad and like I'm not fulfilling my contract. So immediate goal is to get those things fixed. After that, 3 months from now, I would like to have my life and my health in order so that I stream 8 hours a week. If I could do 8 hours a week, however it drops through, and at least one day a week that's always consistent, I would be very happy with that. But, I mean, school will start back up in 3 months from now. Well, if I'm doing it while the kids are at school, that's easier. But who knows what COVID will do in some countries. School might be still distance learning. The other issue is you have to figure out when your audience that likes you watches, and you need to be consistent for them at those times.
Yeah.
I've been very inconsistent in this last month, sometimes streaming at 6 a.m. in the morning my time, sometimes streaming at 5 p.m. at night my time. So it's... My goal is continue to make my chat a funner place to be, easier to work with, have rewards for people who have been loyal to me, and then just be there consistently for those people who have supported me, so they know I can get my daily dose of daily dose of Tool at 2 o'clock. I need my pool time. I need it now.
If I don't get Tool, I have to stick by these these hot tub streamers. Oh my god.
So I met and placed and interacted with so many captains and friended a ton. And a few of them didn't keep doing stream raiders or didn't have content that I could connect with as much because I can't talk to everybody.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you how annoying it is to have 20 favorited captains, and then sometimes I don't have enough captains actively doing battles so I can fill 4 slots. I'm like, I have to find some random captain to drop through? How dare you, Tokozuna? Where were you when I needed you at 3 a.m. in the morning? Where were you, Casper? How dare you let your internet fail and you don't have anything? I shouldn't be like that. I should be more accepting to try to find new captains. There might be a new best friend out there if I just, open myself up. It's still annoying.
Virgin internet, why? I thought BT was bad, but
If the recipe is good or something special, share it. Make a whole Twitch community about cooking ramen. Get Gordon Ramsay to come and say if your ramen's shit or not, so on and so forth.
Okay, so we'll end up on a question. So Average Aim, that's a shout out to you. This, we'll try to keep that in, but essentially, what's our thoughts on streaming? I'll go first. So it's either one way or another. So let's say we have had Twitch's feedback on what it considers a bannable offense for women. So now they've said that they're not going to ban women if they're thought to be too sexy. Now that's perfect because for a woman, that can be anything we literally do. I could be holding a broom or eating a sandwich, and someone will find that too sexy for them. So sometimes this can be something really bad. But at the same time, if they get to a point that there's a huge pushback and it becomes like this negativity against women, a lot of women will leave the platform. Now, that might mean that we lose a lot of viewers that are female, we might lose a lot of streamers that are female, and we have less of an audience here on Twitch. We are also having this resurgence of people that are smaller streamers moving to YouTube. Now, like, don't get me wrong, I have actually streamed on YouTube, and I was streaming on YouTube. But in the time that I've been streaming on YouTube and then now, Twitch has taken over as the only viable platform. Because for a long time, YouTube was trying to get out its YouTube gaming platform, which would have been great if they kind of had a toggle mode. When you came into YouTube, it would toggle on, but no, you had to go to a separate site. And so therefore, it kind of meant that people were wanting the recommended videos. And so therefore, the streaming got relegated to the side. Now, some bigger people on Twitch have moved to YouTube. They're saying that it's much better because what they're doing is they're preparing for the exodus for Twitch or Twitch dying. Now, this could be possible. Amazon could run it down to absolutely nothing. But it's also that they are actually bought by one of the biggest companies of the world. Now, Twitch does make quite a lot of money because we all have to deal with that. It doesn't share that much with its content creators. It does take a primary... So therefore, if you bid or sub to Tool right now, it would take 50%. It would take 50% of that straight away. It doesn't have any essentially rights to that as donations. Not yet anyway. And then it also plays ads. And we don't have any choice on the ads that are played and when they play. So therefore, what happens is usually people come into a stream, they see a pre-roll ad. We do not get much from that. That is, like, literally... Can I say something? And maybe this will kind of say something about, like... So, let's say, for me at the moment, my average is about 15 people. My essentially, my month's takeaway from that ads, compared to YouTube, is $4. So we do not have any, like, technically on YouTube you could choose whether a video that you upload is monetizable or not. You choose if they play ads on there, and then they give you a percentage depending on whether it's a McDonald's ad or depending on whether it's I have a Lamborghini here in my house on the Hollywood Hills. I you know what's better than my Lamborghini? It's my books in my garage because I stole them with my Lamborghini. So, I think Twitch will have to be adaptive. I think that it's going to have to work on being adaptive. I'm glad that Amazon has kind of thought about what is going to approach this as, because it could get more negative. And I think they're trying to approach it in the most positive manner that they can without a Twitch apocalypse. So in my opinion, streaming on this platform, it's going to only get better. And there's going to be a lot of people that will leave because they do not see any kind of growth factor on this. And that is just down to the person. You have to be extremely stubborn to get this to work. You have to literally get up in the morning and go, I have to stream. It doesn't matter if I have gastric distress. If I said I had to stream today, I will be there. That's essentially it. No kaputi. You have to be on here, because you know what will happen is, if you decide to give yourself that, you'll wake up the day after or whenever you need to go for your next stream and go, I kind of don't want to do it again. And so it keeps on going. You have to be particularly persistent, and you have to be very stubborn. That's all I would say. But at the same time, can I say something? Streaming is extremely important. I'll tell you why. I've learned so many skills that I would have never ever thought possible doing streaming, because you have to. You have to learn how to talk to people. You have to open up about things that you've never told anybody within your life. You have to be extremely, real. And that can take a lot. You have to then learn a lot about streaming software. You've got to learn a lot of technical things. You've got to be your own fact checker. There's a lot of skills that you'll learn, and they're extremely useful for any kind of other job that you want to do. And that's why I would suggest to anybody, start streaming. It doesn't matter whether you stick it with it. You will learn a lot doing it. So that is my case. So we'll go over to Tool. I think I've talked long enough. So I think this is our ending a question for tonight. And I've just said whatever I wanted to say.
So if I understand the question correctly, it's basically, what does it take to be a streamer? And are the platforms that allow you to stream worth it or getting better? So to be a streamer, it does take energy, and it does take a lot of hours. And at least for the people who are starting out or are new, it is not going to be money worth it at the start. But it could be, and will be for some. Others, I don't know. If you look at it this way, with about 7 billion people on the planet, you would need about $30 a year per viewer, and then have about 2,000 viewers who gave you that $30 to only make $7,200 in a year. That would pay for a rent if you had 2,000 viewers donating a total of $30 to you each year. But if it's only 2,000 people out of 7 billion, that's a lot of groups of 2,000 that can exist. It can happen. Every person is unique and has their own personalities that will click with other people incredibly well. And we don't live 300 years ago, where the only time you traveled more than 10 miles was for the county fair. And the only time you traveled super far was on the train because you were literally relocating your whole life and trying to start out new. We have the internet, we have Wikipedia, we have all these things to learn anything we want to learn, to reach out to anybody we want to reach out to, and to do, in many ways, anything we want to do if we can have the persistence, energy, and support to let us push through and make it happen. So I hope that anybody who wants to have these types of interactions does it. And I wish them the best of luck. And even if it doesn't make you money, you will make memories that will last a lifetime streaming, because there are real people and real cabinet moments And hey, everybody enjoys truth, enjoys a feeling of the moment that somebody is going through. Now, Twitch, YouTube, other services for streaming, a platform that is known will make it easier, but because of the way the world works right now, any platform that is known is going to take most of your profits until you become super big. And even when you're super big, they'll take a sizable chunk. I believe that Twitch has it in them to adapt and become better and better. And things are easier and better now than they were 2.5 years ago when I first tried Twitch. But YouTube is also better and more available than it was 2.5 years ago. It is a sliding scale for these two platforms, and other ones I haven't had personal experience with, so I don't know. But with the competitiveness, with the ease of setting up web pages and getting server space, theoretically many other companies could do this. And there's things like Patreon, where people are making special Discord servers and they only stream in their Discord to their Patreon subscribers. There's many options and many ways to go about it. Find the way that works for you and your community and the people who are loyal to you. The people who are loyal to you will want to support you more than your platform. So, talk to them, communicate with them, see what works for them. I have Discord open if I'm at my computer. I see my notifications. It's easier there. I don't have Twitch open unless I'm trying to support another Twitch streamer, a friend of mine. It's harder for me to see notifications there and know that somebody went live. So work with your community, work with what works with you, and even though you got to be persistent, you also have to take care of yourself. So put that into your calculations. Oh, I could make $10 more if I use this platform versus this platform in a month. But it takes 8 more hours worth of effort to jump through their hoops every month as well. 8 hours of work for $10? Well, in the world of streaming, it's sort of like that in many ways sometimes. But if you're there and you're consistent, your viewers will keep coming back. They don't want to abandon you. They want to hear your voice. They want to hear how your dog's doing. They want to see what you're eating because it's better than what they're eating. And you just have those moments. I got Cass for laughing a bunch. She doesn't know what to do with herself. This is great. I don't know. What other questions or thoughts do you have? If not, I could let chat give me any questions they have at this point. But other than that, I don't know where to go.
I think the whole idea is that for me is to stay persistent. Like, you've got to be pretty like gung-ho and realize that at the end of the day, because everyone wants to be an influencer, everyone wants to be a streamer because they think this is easy. And people make it look easy because they're very good at what they do. And they usually have help. But most people starting out don't have that yet. And they possibly won't have that for a very long time.
Yeah. The first 2 times I tried this, I only had the help of family and friends lurking for me. It wasn't enough. The help of other streamers and making the connections of people fighting that same fight with me, that's what really helped make the difference this time. And this time it's been so much more successful. Before, I was averaging 3 viewers, one of them being my own alt account to just make sure I could hear myself and it was working right, and the 2 others being somebody in my family giving me a sympathy.
Yeah.
When I streamed and I posted on Discord in the captains who have let me post in their Discord saying, hey, I'm going live. Hey, I'm doing dungeons. Hey, I'm doing PvP. I have gotten 10 to 14 viewers on average every stream. And people are talking. And I'm not even having to worry about the benchmarks Twitch is putting because they want to talk to me. Because they want to say, hi, Tool. Hi, everybody. Hey, are we going to get that boon or not? Why you pick the wrong boon? That's a terrible power-up. Why take a soggy, disgusting-looking mushroom when you could have had the truffle of the gods?
Thank you, Tool, for your time. As always, you're an amazing person. And I'll have to cut and edit this now.
Best of luck with that.
I'll do it tomorrow. I could put it off for tomorrow. Procrastination alert.
Well, I have plans with my family. We're actually going to let the kids watch Star Wars A New Hope for the first time tonight, was our plan as a family. So maybe in a few days or a few hours, they'll know that Darth Vader is flawed.
Spoilers. Okay. Nice to see you all again on the podcast. This is episode 2 with Tool. It was very nice to catch up with you again. Can you spell your Twitch name out precisely? Because obviously if people are hearing this on Spotify, they need to go over and follow you.
My name is Tualkaer, Tualkaer. And I would love to see you on my streams. I will be doing more in the next few days. I plan a 6-hour dungeon stream in the next 48 hours at some point because Dungeons is ending for Stream Raiders and will not be coming back until they've made adjustments. So, hope to see you all there.